90 Day Fiance was on a couple nights ago, and in the episode, so much stuff happened, starting off with that Ed and Rose finally ended their relationship, and Rose called it quits. Okay, so much stuff has been going on with Ed and Rose, and with all these couples that I will get into in a couple minutes, but first, we have to talk about what is going on with Ed and Rose. Okay, so what happened? Well, basically, Ed and Rose have been fighting over and over and over again. Ed made the comment about Rose's sister, just, using him for the money, and that Rose's breath smelled, and a ton of other stuff. And then finally, Ed came out in the last episode and said, hey, guess what, Rose? I know that you want to have, I think, 3 kids in total, because she already has Prince, but he said, I only have enough love, I only have enough money for just you, Prince, and my current daughter. I don't want to have any more kids. And that was it. That was the last straw. After he said that, Rose was done. She just disappeared. The next day, Ed woke up and Rose wasn't there. She basically just needed some time to herself, and that's when she decided that she wants to call it quits. And from what we can see, their relationship is done. Thank God for everyone involved. And it also sounds like Rose is going to come to YouTube very soon and share her side of the story. Now, not on my channel, unfortunately, maybe in the future, but it just sounds like she's going to make her own YouTube channel and share what was really going on, because she has claimed in other videos that Ed was totally using her to become famous. He had no interest in her at all, and he just wanted to become a celebrity. And if that wasn't bad enough for one couple, we have to talk about David and now this fake Lana character. And it is officially official that Lana, or should I say Lana, was catfishing David. Lana turned out to never even be real. We all know the whole infamous story that David, he is the crazy, gullible guy, and I used to have sympathy for this guy. I used to really feel bad for this guy, but now, after watching the last episode, this guy is just like the worst person ever, right there with Ed, because he is just so annoying. In the last episode, he got stood up. He went back to the Ukraine and he got stood up for the 4th time. None of us are shocked. There was a little part of me that thought maybe Lana will actually be there, but of course, that wasn't the case. So he goes there. He gets stood up. He comes back and he's heartbroken, which, if it was the first time, I would understand, but this is the 4th time that he's gotten stood up by her in the Ukraine, so I can't really relate. Either way, he goes back to Las Vegas. He's miserable, he's sad. He ends up hiring a private investigator in the Ukraine to research who is this Lana person, and guess what happens? He comes back, this private investigator, and tells David that she is fake and that there are multiple different women, quote-unquote women, using this picture of this Lana character on different dating sites using different men, and they're using it as a source of income, and there's multiple different profiles with different names of the same picture, meaning that Lana is a catfish. So she's fake. David has his friend come over who is from the Ukraine to translate, and she's translating the news to him that, hey, sorry, David, but guess what? The girl that just stood you up 4 times in the Ukraine and that has used you for over $100,000 and that you have never even FaceTimed or talked to on the phone is a catfish. And any normal level-headed person would just say, wow, you're probably right. But what does David do? David goes and gets really angry and upset with his friend who was just the messenger. She was just translating. She wasn't making this stuff up. The private investigator is the one that's saying all this. But David is furious and he's angry and he's just saying there's no way she's fake. And before all this stuff happened, David had his other friend come over and his friend said the same thing. She's probably fake. And David just said, oh, no. I've been talking to her for so long. She's real. And his friend said, you have been talking to her over instant message. You never FaceTimed her, you never talked to her on the phone, and you've never met her. She's probably fake. And David kept saying, no. I liked David. I thought he was a nice, sincere, just a lovable guy. But after seeing these last few episodes, I can't stand this guy. And I don't even think he's just doing this for the fame. I think this guy is just stupid and he's annoying and I don't like him. You can call me rude, I really don't care. But anyone that would have gotten stood up 4 separate times in the Ukraine, used for $100,000 and all this other stuff, You just, come on, get out of here. Someone needs to sit this guy down. If TLC had a brain, they would get this guy serious help because he has a problem up here if he doesn't realize that he is getting catfished. But this guy is so ridiculous and stupid and gullible, I don't even know if he understands what the word catfish means, because every time someone tells him she's probably fake, he just says, no, 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 she's real because I've been talking to her for so long. So dude, come on, this is ridiculous. Anyway, sorry for that rant on David. We have to move on because I am getting frustrated and annoyed. Baby girl Lisa and Usman, aka Soulja Boy, were on last night, and nothing too terribly interesting besides the fact that the Nigerian, I don't even know who he was, a pastor or something, that was involved on, you know, helping baby girl Lisa and Usman get married. He said that because Lisa was married and divorced before in Pennsylvania, she needs to all of a sudden magically come up with her divorce certificate. Of course, once Lisa heard the news, she was extremely furious with Usman because she was telling him over and over and over again that you need to tell me what I need to do so we can get married when I come here. And of course, Usman acted like he figured it out. He knew what had to be done, and that wasn't the case because when they got there, he dropped the news on them that she needs to have her divorce certificate, and she went crazy. So crazy that Usman was kind of backpedaling like, should I really marry this girl? But from the spoilers, spoiler alert, it looks like that they do in fact actually somehow get married. But moving on to the next interesting couple, and that's Avery and Ashe. Now this couple has been boring this whole season. I thought they were a shoo-in. They were going to work. I thought they were one of the very few couples that were going to actually work in this season. But as things progressed, it got worse and worse. And a couple episodes ago, Ashe had his dating seminar that was pretty much like Usman's concert that he had. It was basically fake. No one was there. No one seemed to give a crap. And the funniest part about it was horrible information. I mean, like, gut-wrenching, horrible. It made no sense. He was 1 second here, next second he was there. I don't even know what he was trying to talk about. It was just so all over the place. At one point, he literally had to, excuse himself and walk out of the room because he was just so flustered and didn't know what he was saying. Maybe he was nervous that he had cameras on him, but either way, he was not prepared. I don't know what kind of material he was even trying to go over. It was awkward, it was embarrassing, and the worst part was he actually offended Avery. So after Avery saw and heard his little speech, she was really concerned that, hey, maybe Ashe is kind of more a little bit older in his ways of thinking about how a woman should stay home and a man should, make money and that kind of stuff. And it seems like Avery is a little bit more up to date and she's a little bit more of an independent style woman, and she's not really into that kind of older style stuff. Either way, Avery and Ashe went crazy and they have been in a non-stop fight, and last night's episode, they just fought and they fought and they fought, and we're seeing a totally different side of Ashe that it's kind of funny to see, because before, Ashe came off as just a robotic, he's always positive, lovey-dovey, sunshine and rainbows kind of guy, but now we're seeing this other side where he is just like, he's mad, he's going crazy, he's screaming, Avery's getting really emotional. It's kind of cool to see, and it pretty much confirms in my mind that they aren't going to work. I just have a gigantic hunch that because they had this, big distance, she's over here, he's over there, and now they had this other huge separation with their mindset and their thoughts and their opinions, I don't think they're going to work. And I think Avery has been on the fence with Ashe because he won't ever tell her the truth, and he's always beating around the bush, and now she's seeing the real side of him, and I don't think she likes it. Stephanie and Erica were on last night's episode. I will keep it very quick with them. Erica came out to her parents, and thank God they didn't care at all. They were supportive, they were happy. It wasn't dramatic at all. Her parents seemed very cool, very open, very, just lovey-dovey. They were happy, and that was it. And yeah, that was basically it. Nothing else happened with them. They're a very boring couple. Stephanie and Erica were acting like they were going to try to make it work. Of course, we all know there's about this, big of a chance that they're going to make it work. It seems very slim. Moving on, Darcy and Tom, same thing, nothing interesting, and I'm not even going to cover them. Yolanda was on last night's episode, and it appears that she finally has confirmation, like David, that this man she's been talking to, Williams, yes, plural, Williams, is fake. Her kids did a reverse Google image search, and a laundry list of images that are stock images came up of this Williams person, and he was totally fake. They were stock images, and her kids were basically saying, hey, he's fake. Of course, Yolanda was pulling a card out of David's playbook and acting like, hey, maybe the guy is real. But no, that is not the case. we all know he is totally fake. So Yolanda, boring, nothing interesting. The next and maybe last couple would be Geoffrey and Vario, and they're getting kind of interesting because once Geoffrey came out a couple episodes ago to Vario about his criminal past, Vario just totally turned the page, closed the book on Geoffrey, and you could tell she is done. She's still going along with it and trying to kind of be lovey-dovey and act like she still likes him, but you can just totally see she is over it. After her mom and her brother just like went off on her and said, you cannot be with this guy because he has a criminal past and it's going to hurt you, she has just been like 95% just over him and done. And everyone can see it, at least I can see it, and it doesn't seem like Geoffrey can see it. Because it looks like at the end of the episode, Geoffrey gets down on one knee and asks her the infamous question, will you marry me? Which is absolutely insane because you don't even really know the girl, she doesn't clearly like you that much, and a million other reasons. And I don't know how true this is, but I heard from Frauded by TLC, the Instagram podcast, whatever, that Geoffrey and Vario weren't at the tell-all that was filmed a day or two ago. So that would be really hilarious, and that would basically tell me for sure that Vario says no. And stay tuned for many more episodes.